And hello, everyone, and welcome back to Cyrus Webb Presents and Conversations Live. We're simulcasting our broadcast today for you all joining us online, as well as our radio audience in Mississippi at Max WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com. A part of this will also be part of our Conversations Daily News as well. We're live here in Los Angeles, but that does not stop me from speaking to our next guest. We're so excited to welcome Stacey Thomas to our broadcast. You guys know Stacey is a media personality. She's an advocate. She's also a playwright and an author and speaker. We're going to talk to Stacey about what it's been like for her to do what she loves. Talk to you guys a little bit about the Stacey Thomas Show, but also what she's excited about is we're wrapping up another year. If you guys are not staying connected with Stacey, we'll let you guys know how to be able to do that, as well as how to find her on social media here. Dr. Norma, hello to you. I see you over there on IG. Stacey, hello to you and welcome to the broadcast.
Hello, Cyrus Superstar. Thank you for having me.
It is my pleasure. So glad to have you on with us. So we were wrapping up another month here. It's hard to believe, Stacey, with September. We're already about to go into the last stretch of 2024. What has it been like for you, Stacey, to reflect on this year and the things that have come your way?
First half of the year, I'd say a little rough, battling my own fears. And then I hooked up with a man named Cyrus Webb. Things started getting better. I'm motivated. I'm excited for the things that are coming up. And I don't know, for this, it's a big difference. First part of the year, like I said, fighting my own fears. And then the second half is just like, okay, Stacey, you say you have yet to see what God has for you. So let's see what God has for you. And great things have been happening.
Love that. Love it. Thank you for that. Taz, hello to you. She says hello to you as well. Stacey, good to be to see you over there on the Facebook side. If you guys have any questions or comments, of course, Stacey, make sure you guys put those in the chat. We are simulcasting this, as I mentioned, Stacey, for our radio audience. They may just be being introduced to you. I've introduced you, though, as a media personality. You host the Stacey Thomas Show. We're going to let our audience know more about that later. But what has it been like for you, Stacey, to provide a platform where people can be able to come and share their stories and feel seen and heard?
It's been interesting. It's been exciting. It's been motivating, listening to testimonies, Cyrus, listening to people share their stories of how they've gotten to where they are today. Mm-hmm. So it's just been enjoyable.
I love what Taz says. Taz says, don't let your fears paralyze you. That is such a great point. And since you mentioned fears, I think, and to go along with Taz's comments, and Stacey, what helps you to do it afraid? Because I think for all of us, myself included, I have to say, there are things that happen in our lives that do scare us. And we wonder, can I do this? Or is this going to happen right? Or, what's going to happen if this goes wrong? What is it that has helped you to be able to face those fears and to move through it?
Well, I've started, I realized probably 2 years ago, and I still have to remind myself of this, Cyrus. This thing hit me, reminding me that fear blocks blessings. Blessings bring faith. If I allow the fear to get me, which I have in the past, I can look back and I can see some blessings that I've missed out on, So now, Cyrus, and this is the honest truth, fear still tries to attack me. It's a busy thing, still tries to attack me. And I have to take a minute, say a scripture, and remind myself that if it's this hard or if something's telling me not to do it, that's what I need to do.
I love that. And I think that that's a great lesson, right? I think, Stacey, for our audience too, right? As we think about, exercising or goals that we set for ourselves, it's not going to be easy. As the saying goes, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Right. It's easy to say what you want to do, but the actions are so important. You and I have had conversations about that. What has it been like for you, though, to see the results from the action? Because it's like working out, it's like setting a goal. Yes, it can be difficult, but when you get in that groove, you really can see those improvements, right? You can see the development. What has it been like for you to see your own development, Stacey, in your life?
It's exciting. It's a wow moment, Cyrus, for some of the opportunities that I'm being given, especially working with you now. It's just amazing. Even if I don't think I'm where I don't feel like where I'm at right now is where I'm going to stay. I always say I have yet to see all that God has for me. Right, but at this moment, Cyrus, I'm proud of myself because I've fought fear and I'm taking chances. you know,
Yeah.
and I'm being blessed.
Yeah. I think that is such a great thing. And I think you're setting the example then, Stacey, which is the other side of what Stacey Thomas is doing. Yes, you're providing a platform, but you're also providing reminders. You're providing messages. I was messing with you before we went live here, and I was calling them car conversations because sometimes we see you in your car and you're sharing these messages. We may see you sitting out. What has that been like for you to know that you have something, Stacey, that you can use to pour into and inspire and motivate other people?
It's it's amazing because I talk just to talk sometimes, Cyrus.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you get messages, people thanking you for the message, thank you for what you said, you know. So now when I talk, and I've said this to people, when I feel like God gives me something and I get in my car or I'm on the front porch and I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself too. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
just to know that I used to think, Cyrus, okay, when people say, if you want to help somebody, you pray for them, right? And then I learned, well, then I personally, I need to do more than pray. I
Mm-hmm.
believe God will do his part, but I've got to do my part.
Yeah.
So to know that people appreciate what I'm saying, it makes me feel good. I'm gonna leave this earth knowing I did something good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that is it. As Todd says, reiterating what you said, the message is for us first, and I've had to learn that myself, Stacey. So that's it. So you are, and I want to brag on Stacey for a minute. I'm hard on Stacey at times, but I
Yeah.
give Stacey her props when she deserves her props. And you are such a talented individual. I had the privilege of being a
Wow.
guest on Stacey's show. She is someone who does her research. She's someone who brings her own personality and flavor to what she does. And I'm saying this, Stacey, because what I love is that, and I have the privilege of working with so many individuals who also are radio show hosts, also are media personalities. And I have never felt threatened by anybody, right? Because I know I have my lane, I know I have my gift, I know I have my purpose. I bring that up to ask you this question. What has it been like for you to know that out of all the other media personalities out there, out of all the other talk show hosts, that Stacey Thomas has something that the world needs?
Thank you, Cyrus. I guess I'm still accepting that.
Okay.
I'm still accepting that. Yeah, we have a lot of radio people out here. We have a lot of TV people out here. But what's for me is for me.
Yes.
What I give may be similar to somebody else, but God gave it to me for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at one time, I don't want to say I compared myself to, well, I guess maybe compared myself. There were
Mm-hmm.
things I wanted to say online, Cyrus. There were
Right.
things that I thought I needed to say. And I'd say, but your hair isn't done. Your nails aren't done. Your English isn't as good as, I love Oprah. Your
Mm-hmm.
English isn't as good as Oprah, for example. And
Yeah.
then one day it just hit me, you know what? If you keep waiting, you don't know when it's gonna happen. So now I'm just Stacey.
Yeah.
You're either with me or you're not, but I'm just Stacey, you know?
Hmm. I love that. Hey, Knowledge, good to be able to see you over there on IG. Glad you could join us. And that is such a great reminder. And look, that comparison is one of those things. It can be flattering, it can be humbling, but it also can be a trap. And I love what you just said because there's nothing wrong. And have nothing but respect and love for Oprah. I have nothing but love and respect for Tavis Smiley, who's, both of them being from my home state. Mississippi is giving us a lot of great media personalities.
Wow.
Robin Roberts is from Mississippi. Of course, we also gave you guys Snoop Dogg, uh, but we've given you all a lot of media talent. But here's
Wow.
the point that reason why I say that Oprah said something on her show before it ended that I don't want you to be me. I'm already me. I want you to be you. And that's why I love what you said about just being you, because that really is where the gift is. We don't need another knockoff,
Right.
right? We need the real thing. And you're giving us the real thing with Stacey Thomas. So I want to talk about then platforms because you mentioned something interesting because you said, you talked about the visual aspect and I was on your show. In fact, people can go back and watch it, but you also been able to do radio as well. have you found that there's a medium that you're the most comfortable in? Now, for me, for I would say easily 15 years, I was the most comfortable on radio. I didn't want to be seen. I didn't have a desire to be seen until people start kind of pulling me out of that. And I was like, okay, you know what? People want me to, they want me to do more of this, right? Is there a place that you feel the most comfortable?
Well, first, Cyrus, I want to say thank you for coming on my show. I'm
Mhm.
still thrilled about that. That was a blessing. I was like, wow, he said yes. So thank you, Cyrus.
Of
But
course.
the most comfortable, I'm more comfortable if I can talk, Cyrus.
Hmm.
If I'm on a live and I can talk, I'm
Hmm.
good. If I'm on my podcast and I can talk, I'm good.
Yeah.
I tried radio, Cyrus.
Hmm.
I have to stop too many times. I just
Yeah.
want to talk.
Yeah.
So the talk show and the podcast, I'm most comfortable at, not radio.
Gotcha. Got and everyone has their space, and I think that's the thing to be able to find that comfort. Hey, Miss Sonia, going to be able to see you over there on IG. Glad you could join us. For those who are just tuning in, welcome. You're watching Cyrus Webb Presents. We're joining you guys live from Los Angeles, but we have a very special guest that's with us today. We have Stacey Thomas with us. She's a media personality. She's an advocate. She's also an author, a playwright, and someone who's been very busy being able to pour into others. She's also an entrepreneur as well. You have one of the things I respect so much about you, Stacey, is your advocacy work that you do, and that's using your platform to be able to bring attention to causes that matter to you. Was that easy for you to do, to be able to personalize your message? And what has it been like for you to know that you can speak for people who may not feel like they have a voice?
Mm. At, at first, it was hard because I'm in Lou Gehrig's disease. Amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease, is something that attacked my mother.
Hmm.
And it's something how when you don't know about anything and you're not fighting for anything until it happens to you, right?
Right.
I, for a minute, Cyrus, thought because of the books, I couldn't talk about what I needed people to know about the illness and what I needed people to know the work that God does. And then it hit me. It's the things that I've done that I've used to build this following. It gives me joy to be able to use my platform now. The more people that follow me, the more people I can tell about the disease, especially in the African American community.
Hmm.
So at first it was hard, thinking about my mother and talking about it. But when you know something and you know ways, things that will help people, you can't sit there and keep it to yourself. You fight what you're going through and you speak out.
Right. I love that. Such a great point. And I've been able to do it as well. I talked about on your platform about being a suicide attempt survivor. This is actually suicide prevention month. So I've been using my platform to talk about that because I think it's an important thing. And like you said, it may not always be easy, but I think knowing that you're able to help someone else and be a benefit to other people definitely matters. Stacey, you also, as I just mentioned, you're also an entrepreneur as well. The Uncle Dandy, hello to you. Glad we connected on IG. Glad you could be with us. Um, Talk to us about that because people probably have seen the shirts that you wear. And of course, like I said, you have other things to be able to do. What has that been like for you to share your creativity outside the mic? Because, the people are very quick to want to put us in a box, right? And say, this is what you do. But you're an example that you can do a variety of things and do them well.
Too many things. I need something, too much. I don't know, Cyrus. Uh, but the entrepreneur side, like the t-shirts. So some of the things that I say come to me, I say, why not put it on a t-shirt?
Hmm.
Of course, sometimes I have to really shorten it, but that brings me joy to know that I'm creating a t-shirt and other people, they actually want one.
Yeah.
I haven't promoted it like I should, but here lately when I open my mouth, a lady told me made a bulk order a couple weeks ago, and the first thing she said was, I said, well, you didn't know I made t-shirts? She says, well, if you don't open your mouth, how would I know?
Mm.
So
There you go.
so now I'm saying I make t-shirts, I'm posting more, and that's good. It's so many things I want to do, Cyrus. I can't wait till I'm in a position to actually like have a team and start putting all the things out that I want to put out.
Mm-hmm. Got you. Got you. But when you said something, I think that's going to help somebody though, Stacey, because and we've talked about this ourselves, is that if you don't let people know what you offer, you cannot expect them to support you. You know,
You
you
told me
cannot
that.
expect them to tell other people about it if they don't know about it themselves. And the only way they can know is if we tell them, right?
Perfect
And
example. I'm
yeah.
sorry, go
No,
ahead.
go ahead, go ahead.
Perfect example when you looked at my page and you said, I can't tell what you do looking at your cover.
Hmm.
You're,
Yeah,
you're not promoting you. You're not promoting your real estate. So
yeah,
thank
yeah.
you.
It's an important thing, and it's easy for us to forget it. But again, if we're going to let people know who we are, and Todd says congratulations on the shirt. She also said something else. I'm going to bring that up. Please share this information about. Okay, yeah, and so Todd is someone also who uses her personal journey, Stacey, to be able to help other people too. So
Wow.
I know that's going to be a good connection with you, the two of you. So with all of that said, but you did just bring up something interesting. Again, people can relate to this when they're looking at where we are. I began this conversation, Stacey, talking about here we are at the tail end of 2024. Hard to believe the last quarter literally kicks off next week, and so which is crazy to even think about. In fact, I don't want to think about it, but it's going to be here. But what would you say to other people about the importance of betting on themselves? I think we're so quick sometimes to count ourselves out. What would you say to them about the importance of not giving up on themselves, Stacey?
I guess because I tell myself this,
Hmm.
there's a reason God gave it to you. If he didn't think you could do it, he wouldn't have given it to you.
Hmm.
Um, Say that again, because there was something else I wanted to say.
Yeah, no, no, but that ties into it. Basically, about the importance of not giving up on themselves, not counting themselves out.
Right, right. Because you wouldn't have it. I've had a mind to quit quite a few times, and
Hmm.
something happens that very day to remind me that I can't quit. So
Yeah,
if it's given to you, I mean, we've just got to, I guess, like for me and for anybody else out there, stop listening to the naysayers. Don't worry
yes.
about the people that don't believe in you.
Hmm.
I learned a long time ago, people aren't going to understand. They may not understand what you're doing, but if God gave it to you, do it.
Yeah,
Just do it.
yeah. It's such a great thing, and because, like you said, it was given to you for a reason, right? And I was reading a book. I'm going to be talking more about this tomorrow because this book is so powerful, and it comes from a very unlikely place for a lot of people, and that's the rapper Rick Ross. But
Mm,
I'm reading his book now for the second time, and it's so many powerful messages in there. But one of the ones I just reread, though, Stacey, is what you just was saying, and that is the importance of knowing what you've been given and knowing it wasn't a conference call. And he talks about that in the book, that a
wow.
lot of people may not see it, but it's not up to them to see it. The important thing is for you to see it and then work toward it. And so with that being said, as we are preparing for the wrap up of this year, I want to put you on the spot for a second, Stacey. I want to ask you, if someone asks you, because you're talking to them about, betting on themselves, being able to put themselves out there, what are you the most proud of yourself for this year? What is Stacey Thomas the most proud of herself of for 2024?
I decided to invest in myself. I decided to, instead of just keep watching Cyrus videos and hoping for a class, or looking at the videos and saying one day, I decided to stop making excuses financially.
Hmm.
And I'm proud of myself because I hired Cyrus, and I'm actually doing what it is that I'm being told to do. I'm actually keeping a calendar. Cyrus, I'm thankful. I am proud of myself because I chose to do what it is I wanted to do, and that was work with Cyrus.
Hmm. Well, I was not expecting that. That was
I'm
not the answer. I want
serious.
another answer, Stacey. No, business.
No, you said what has made me the proudest, right?
Yeah.
When you sit around and you let fear get to you,
Yeah.
You had like all the reasons hit your mind why you shouldn't or you can't. I've had a lot of days I've sat around and did that, right? And for the first time, I am really, really like I've gotten better, and I'm really, really, I'm working harder.
Mm.
Cyrus, I still have my days. I still fight fear.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'm actually working harder. You and your team, the motivational things that I see that's happening, and the inspiration I get from you guys. This season right here, I am very proud of myself. Very proud.
Mm. Well, I'm glad to be a small part of that. You're doing the work, and so I appreciate you. I was not expecting you to say that, but I appreciate that, and I'm glad that I can be a part of that. But I want to say this too, Stacey. Though the thing is, as like we said in this conversation, you have something the world needs. I'm just glad to help you to share it, and I think that's for everybody out there, that you have something that's been given to you that nobody else has. No matter how many people may be doing what you're doing, as far as in the field of it, there's nobody that can be you. You are irreplaceable, and if you don't share it, the world is missing out. And that's been my message to Stacey. It's been my message to anyone I work with, but it's definitely my message to my audience. Is to remember that you have something the world needs, and it's up to you to believe in that, and then to be able to share it. So, Stacey, for our audience out there who may want to be a guest on the Stacey Thomas Show, they may want to get it connected with you. Where's the best place for them to find you, and how can they contact you?
Well, on Facebook, it's I am Stacey Space Thomas. That's Stacey with an E. I always say that. I am Stacey Thomas. That's on Facebook. Instagram at I am Stacey Thomas. And my email address is easy. It's I am Stacey Thomas at gmail.com.
Love that. Love that. Appreciate that. Stacey, great conversation with you. Glad we could have you on Cyrus Webb Presents and Conversations Live, and looking forward to our next chat together.
Thank you very much, Cyrus.
You're more than welcome. And we thank you, our audience, for tuning in to another great segment of Cyrus Webb Presents live here from Los Angeles and Conversations Live. Until next time, you all make it a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.